CA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's a scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Tennessee Titans. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and kickoff straight ahead, CD. What's one thing that you're going to have your eye on?
I think about what the great coaches of the past.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leading out the Tennessee Titans is the native of Lubbock, Texas, Ryan Tannehill. Spent 6 seasons in Miami, and now the quarterback of the Tennessee Titans, and perhaps no quarterback, maybe even no player in the game, rehabilitated his career more than Ryan Tannehill did with the Titans in the second half of this season. Took over as a starter in Week 7, led the Titans to 6 wins in his first 7 starts to get these guys back into playoff contention. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And we roll now on the graphics for the offensive starters.
Let's take a look at the left tackle, Taylor Lewan. A big, gregarious guy with great athletic ability. Plays the game with a little bit of...
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Tannehill. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. As the Ravens come back out here on offense, we talked about Lamar Jackson earlier, Charles, but these Ravens, they rolled through the middle part of the season. Couple losses in September, but undefeated in October, November, and rolled that into December. They've answered every big question thus far. The wins over Seattle, New England, Houston, the Rams, the Niners and Bills as well. Are they the favorites to hoist the Lombardi Trophy in Miami on February 2nd?
I believe they are because they are a complete team. As much as Lamar Jackson powers everything on offense, he has Marquise Hollywood Brown out wide. He can throw the ball deep too. Dependable tight ends led by Mark Andrews. Really good offensive line. Mark Ingram can run it. The defense comes at you from every imaginable angle. And if you're trying...
And he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson, 27 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Titans come back out onto the field here, this is a crew, Charles, that made a heck of a run in the middle of the season, but they might look back at that Week 15 loss at home to Houston is the one that was the turn in the wrong direction.
Had everything going in their direction, to use your word, right? Because remember, that run led to Houston coming to their place.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tomoda Peko racks up the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. This a quick pass to Davis. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Out of the gun, Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Back deep is DeAnthony Thomas. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack. And that's what I'm seeing so far.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can...
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. Complete. It's Henry. And he'll go down at the 28.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Tannehill. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30. 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. As his guys are in for 6. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Tannehill. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On second down now, it's Henry, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Tannehill. He's got the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith. And it's second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Back to throw, Tannehill. It's caught, Smith. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. He had his lone attempt blocked earlier. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Partner, I think they saw something there. I mean, they came from the right side deliberately, and you know there's always a designated guy who goes and blocks it, but it's the rest of his teammates that get him free.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
First and 10, it's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On second down, it's Ingram. Ingram's got the first down and more. And finally taken down at the 15. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And this is incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. But it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Going to throw again. He's got it to Ingram. Complete. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? They're throwing to start the drive, but that went incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target. And that'll bring up second down.
CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we put Baltimore number one, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Sights on the end zone, no doubt, but it's brought down after a huge return there. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his second touchdown here this first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now Corey Davis and the rest of his offense getting ready for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking to find some space for Dion Lewis there, but it'll be second down. And with that incompletion, you know, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in week 17. So
now this is trying to get it to Davis. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 46. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what could happen? As we send you right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Ingram again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and 1.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45.
They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. 22 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the second time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback, the ability to run the ball fearlessly. And, in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Titans, this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Hey, I'm coming after you. Ready?
Tannehill on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Here we go. 18 Gator. 55. Hey, watch the slant.
Play action. It's Jackson. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. A gain of 3, second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the last 2 drives. Ended it. You can't be predictable, but the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Titans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Derrick Henry. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Thomas. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Out come the Titans now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Down a nickel formation here defensively. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Ingram. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Another carry for the workhorse stars tonight. Ingram give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to make it 4th down. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long